In April 2019, Piet Hoekstra, ambassador of the United States to the Netherlands, paid a visit to the Dutch province of Zeeland. Zeeland is unique thanks to its location. It is surrounded by large cities and it has a lot of space. It's an industrial province and it has the most beautiful touristic sites.
And Zeeland is not only nice to visit as a guest, but to stay as a worker, to house here, to have your children grown up here. So welcome in Zeeland.
Ambassador Hoekstra was born in the Netherlands and his parents emigrated to the United States when he was a young child.
It's the map of your birth province, Groningen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
When you want to know the Netherlands, you have to know the provinces of the Netherlands. Zeeland was in history and in modern times a very important province because of the sea. We are Zeeland, we are land in sea, so we have a very important economical and historical and social function for the Netherlands.
In the 17th and 18th centuries, the United East India Company was the economic engine of Zeeland. Zeeland consists of many islands, and each island has its own characteristics.
The people living here are proud, are enjoying, not only people as inhabitants, but the millions of tourists coming each year to Zeeland make Zeeland a very proud province where we share the values of Zeeland with other people.
Let's take a picture with the flag.
Zeeland hosts the Roosevelt University and the Roosevelt Institute.
Your Excellency, welcome.
In Zeeland we are proud that we had the ancestors of Mr. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And when he made his State of the Union in 1941, he said, well, there are 4 freedoms very important. That's the freedom of speech and expression, the freedom from worship, the freedom from want, and the freedom from fear. And we are proud that the Roosevelt came from Zeeland.
These 4 freedoms are the main freedoms for the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The 4 Freedoms Award is awarded every other year in Middelburg, Zeeland.
It's great to see that they do the 4 Freedom Awards here. They've invested the time, the energy, and the resources to carve out this very special niche of American history and to celebrate it, to honor it, and to study it.
Good Alvin, how are you? Hi, good to see you.
Zeeland is special for me. It's special for my wife. In Zeeland, Michigan. The company that I worked for 15 years was in Zeeland, Michigan. Diane's dad grew up in Zeeland, Michigan, and now to be in Zeeland, the Netherlands, is great. In many ways, it kind of reminds you of home.
Diane and I are absolutely thrilled to be to represent the United States of America in my birth country, and to represent the United States of America to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, a country that has been a friend of the United States for so long.
I was wondering if there was factors of either Dutch or American government that you could almost switch. If there was something from the Dutch you would bring into America or something from the US you would bring to the Dutch, what would those be?
They're so fundamentally the same and then so fundamentally different.
We have a history that goes back 400 years. We are 2 countries that have never fired a shot at each other in anger. We've stood side by side a lot of different times.
Some students of the Roosevelt University were invited to have a dinner with the ambassador.
We want to use the time fruitfully so that you can put your questions you prepared and we can have discussion with each other.
More questions?
More questions.
Oh,
More
no.
answers.
Yeah.
More answers, yes.
That's kind of looking at it.
75 years ago, when Europe was liberated by the Allied forces, the Battle of the Scheldt was one of the most important battles because the harbour of Antwerp had to be liberated.
But when you want to reach Antwerp, you have to go to the Scheldt in Zeeland. So it was a very important battle, and we commemorate that as one of the main battles we had for freedom in Western Europe.
Set amongst the characteristic Zeeland elements of water, beach and dikes, the Liberation Museum Zeeland illustrates the period of the Second World War, with emphasis on the Battle of the Scheldt in particular.
We are very, very proud having the Liberation Museum.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Traas, he is the founder.
Everything ended with the liberation of the island Walcheren.
In 2009 we opened the small museum, and now this year, 25 of October, we opened the big museum over the Battle of the Scheldt. It was so important battle that it needed a big museum. This is the LVT-4, the buffalo who used here in this area with the landings on the coast. It started, I think, when I was 6 years old. I was with my uncle. He had the Canadian helmet. He found it on a battlefield not far from here, only 2 miles. He put it on my head, and then it got my interest, and I started to collect more things. Now you see it ends with the tank.
Zeeland is also known for its delta works, a series of large construction projects to protect a large area of land around the Rhine-Meuse-Scheldt delta from the sea.
I told the ambassador that we have the most sun hours. It's not only good because of the solar energy, we experiment with tide energy. We have many wind because we are not only Zeeland, but we are also land and sea. So we use the wind parks in sea for sustainable energy.
Companies from Zeeland connected to the USA can meet the ambassador at a corporate market.
We are representing Eastman Chemical. Eastman Chemical is a company based in Tennessee, and in 1968 a first site was established here in Middelburg.
So what you see here is the product we make is in pastille shape or in liquid form, as you can see in this flecken. We employ 240 people here in Middelburg, and the community of Middelburg is very important to us, and we have different ways to support the community.
Olin is the biggest epoxy resin producer in the world, and they have a large franchise in Europe that we can supply with building block material that we make here in Terneuzen.
I explained to the ambassador, he mentioned in his presentation, he is glad that the Dutch people like to invest in the USA, and also that the people from the USA like to invest in Holland. We have 2 American shareholders. One is a combination Goldman Sachs and Acquire, and the other one is Oxbow.
When the business became that interesting and that large in Europe, there was a decision to start producing in Europe. And the idea was, of course, in the United States it should be Rotterdam. We figured out that Polman, there's nothing against, it's even a good place because it's halfway between Antwerp and Rotterdam. And logistics are very important for Allied because we bring over raw materials.
Damen is an international shipyard group with its largest branch in Vlissingen. The company was established by 2 brothers in 1927. Damen Shipyards Group has earned a leading position in the shipbuilding world.
My grandfather started the company back in 1927. He started with a very small shipyard in the center of Holland.
And then my father, he joined his family business in 1967 and took over actually in 1969. At that time, it was still a very small business actually, because when he took over there were only 6 employees, and today we are about 12,000 and 36 different locations. And actually Vlissingen here in Zeeland is one of our key locations. It's the largest actual shipyard in the Netherlands for us.
It's very important that the ambassador sees what the strength of Zeeland is, and especially in the maritime industry we have a lot of opportunities.
The location in Vlissingen actually joined the company back in the year 2000, but it's really unique because we have direct access to the North Sea.
The North Sea port, the cross-border port area, is important for Zeeland's economy. It is a distinctive feature in the landscape, along with the chemical industry and the coastal defences. Zeeland is also home of Dow Terneuzen, the second largest production site of the Dow Chemical Company. This company is constantly innovating by combining scientific insights with technological knowledge.
Hello.
Viskerke Onions delivers high-quality onions to more than 125 countries.
We are here today at Viskerke Onions, my family business. I am the 4th generation active in our family business. We are a grower, packer and exporter of onions. It is great to receive Mr. Hoekstra and Mr. Polman today in our facilities. We have seen the receipt of raw materials, the grading, done by computer sorting. So we use cameras and infrared techniques to look inside the onion to see if the product is healthy. We've seen the packing part, where the onions are being packed in small consumer packs, and the loading. From here we export the onions and shallots to more than 125 different countries. We are here in an agricultural area, so we are close to our growers, but most important is that here in the south of the Netherlands, from Zeeland, the ports are within reach. Therefore, our logistical costs are extremely low. From grower to packhouse and to port is among the most competitive cost prices in the world. Also, what is great to see is the residual heat exchange. Our neighbor Lampeste Meyer is blowing out heat from the French fries baking process. We have received a large grant from the province of Zeeland to use that heat to dry our onions. We are able to use that heat to not only dry the onions but also heat up the company. It will allow us to be completely off gas.
Whether you're growing the onions and those types of things, which we grow a lot of in West Michigan, or whether it's the fruit trees, which we have a lot of in West Michigan, being here is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we see each other soon.
I'm sure we will.
Zeeland is very, very attractive because we are an open country. We want to trade with people, we want to understand people, and we are very open in welcoming everyone here to know each other, to invest together, and to help to do the best for the people. So welcome in the Netherlands, and especially welcome in Zeeland, land and sea, where there are a lot of opportunities.